Hello, boys and girls. Today, let's talk about pricing. My name is Beard in Marketing, and I talk about all things marketing on this platform. So, feel free to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and we've also started a YouTube channel. So, feel free to check us out there as well. So, yeah, let's delve deep into it. Pricing, it's a very interesting topic. I would like to start off by telling my own personal story. So I started Dreamazic last year and went into the market, right? And when I went into the market, obviously I tried to do market research to get to know what my competitors are charging, and it was very, very difficult to find this cost. All we knew is that the bigger agencies charge an arm and a leg, so it's fine. I'm not competing with those guys. I can hammer those guys when it comes to cost. And then all I knew is that the small agencies, they don't have a fixed rate card. They they give costings dependent on the clients that they're getting, right? So I did not want to do it this way. I wanted to have a fixed rate card, go with it into market and see what the market will tell me, how the market will react to this rate card. So I started in at a price point. My price point, I'll call it price point A. I went in with price point A into the market. And when I went in with price point A, I got a few clients, right? I got, my price point A was, I would say, it wasn't high. It wasn't very low, but it was lowish, right? So when I went in with price point A, I went to the market and I met, I think, 2 clients. And the first 2 clients that I met did not want to work with me, not because they did not like my ideas, but simply because they did not feel like the amount that I was charging was fair enough. They thought that a good price point to charge would be almost the half of price point A. Mark you, in my head, I've already put price point A as, I'm like, this is the lowest I can charge. This is how much I will basically need to run Dreamazic and maybe turn a profit, at least keep up operations, right? Or even try and innovate, buy new, equipment and stuff like that. So I need my price to be price A, right? So after I got these 2 clients, I was a bit discouraged, right? And I was tempted to review my pricing. But I was just like, no, let me still forge on, let me see if I can get an ideal consumer who would be able to pay for my product at the price that I put it. So I met another client, and this client, if she's watching, she probably knows herself. I met another client and we got into a call. We had a discovery call. We then had a session where I pitched to her how we would go in with our brand strategy, our content strategy, and we were all happy and we were making, and she was very happy with the kind of output that we were giving out. And I then communicated the price that we were going to charge her for all this. And when I told her, this was a reaction. She was like, wow, that is very affordable. And that got me thinking. That got me thinking a lot. I really thought about my pricing after I met this client. So she said, you guys are very affordable. And I then sat to myself and I wondered, how many such clients are there, right? And how many such clients am I passing on, right? So that means there's definitely a market. Maybe my strategies have not been, sorry for that, my strategies haven't been good enough to reach that market that I'm looking at. So I decided to work with this client, and this client gave me great insight. I'm forever thankful to her. And I decided to I worked with my client at that price point A, and then I decided to also take my pricing, my bare price, so my most minimum price, I decided to take it to price point B. And then at price point B, it's 2 times price point A. So the reason why I decided to do this, to take it 2 times price point A, is because I discovered, number 1, there's a market. There is a consumer who's willing to pay a premium for all these services. Number 2, there's also another market. There's a market of SMEs, I would say, who are not willing to spend too much on marketing, and they want to spend very little. Is that the kind of SME that I'm targeting? Probably not. I'm looking at an SME that values marketing, and they see what marketing can actually do, what building a brand can actually do, what creating equity online can actually do. How do you create content that actually communicates to your consumer in a very interesting way? And there are people who are willing to pay for that. So I took my price to price point B, which was 2 times. I just doubled the price at price point A, And I also discovered at price point B, I was getting a lot of clients who are willing to pay that price. And that told me something. There's still a lot of demand, because I was getting a lot of demand and I was not able to fulfill that demand very well at some point, because it was too much. So I decided to again increase the price just a bit, and now this time I increased it by, I would say, almost 25%. I increased it by just a bit to price point C, where I had an ideal number of clients. So right now I don't have too many clients, I just have the right number of clients. They're enough to, the clients that I have are enough. It corresponds to the amount of workforce that I currently have on Dreamers Inc. Right now, if I decide to get on more clients, then it means that I have to employ more people. Speaking of which, we currently have an opening for a creative intern on Dreamers Inc. If you feel like you would match that and you like to storytell in a different way, please feel free to apply for that position. So yeah, that has been my pricing journey. Figuring out pricing is very difficult for a small business, and especially a new business. And yeah, let's have a discussion on pricing. Why is pricing important? So I took down some notes, so I hope you guys don't mind if I just go and look at some of the notes I took down. So first of all, we'll look at the objectives of pricing. Number one, the reason why people price and why you need to price your product right is number one, for the survival of your business. So if you price your product wrong, your business is not making any money, you're losing money. If you lose money, obviously then you are out of business. Number two is for your expansion and also to actualize your strategy. So most people, when they start their businesses, they have a strategy, they have a goal, they know where they want to take their business, they know where their business will sit in the next 5 years, they know where their business will sit in the next 10 years. To be able to actualize these strategies, you would need money. One of the things I've discovered for me is that I need money to fulfill my innovation, to buy equipment. Obviously, there is the branding element of my business, where I help brands in brand building online. But then there's also an element where we do a lot of filmography, where we take a lot of content, we do a lot of video, and that part of the business is super expensive, because the brand building bit is just about me bringing in my head. This other business is about like actually putting money into the business, buying cameras, buying equipment, buying lighting, and that is very expensive. So you need to have the correct pricing so that you can be able to innovate. Because remember, if I continue giving my clients the same thing, I'm not innovating, I'm not coming up with new equipment, then they will be looking at me and like, why are we charging? Why are you paying all of this if I'm not getting new stuff? So I try to at least try and innovate so that my client also sees that what they are paying for, there's an evolution in their content, right? There are two strategies that I would say that people usually use when they're going in to price their product, right? Number one is the cost-oriented pricing. So cost-oriented pricing, for example, in Dreamers Inc., I know how much it costs me to buy all the equipment. I know how much it costs me to pay the salaries of my employees. I know how much it costs me to run, to go for these client shoots and all that. I can put all those costs together, then put up a markup, and then that would be how much, basically, that would dictate how much we are charging the market, right? And then also the second one is just market perception as a strategy. So I think this is the strategy that we used. So I went in with an initial pricing offer, and I thought this was something that was reasonable. Then when I got into the market, I was like, okay, so there are people who are willing to pay a premium. They're willing to pay more for the current services that I'm offering. So I took my pricing up, right? And then as I continued to innovate, got new, equipment. My clients are seeing the new equipment that I'm getting. They're seeing the quality of work they're getting is better. They're seeing we're innovating. We're coming up with new ways to storytell. They're seeing all these new fancy ways of editing and bringing the content to life. Then I can then charge them even more. I can charge them an extra premium. So pricing is very important, guys. It's one of those things that it's very dicey to navigate, but I think it's one of those things that if you get right, you'll be able to run your business very well. So yeah, that has been my 2 cents, and yeah, I think I'm going to end this one here.